God. Hello, wrestling fans! Welcome to another edition of the TNA / pay-per-view / tag team. I'm your host here, Scorpio, alongside the invincible E. Vincent.
Hey!
TNA Destination X, sick pay-per-view E. I think the best pay-per-view of the year so far for TNA. What do you think?
It was very, very good. A whole lot of surprises, whole lot of gutting it out by a bunch of different people in a bunch of different matches.
Absolutely. Now, this thing kicks off here. We discussed it here on UnifiedWrestling.com, the actual way it was going to break down. Of course, they're going to have the last four-way chance as the first match and then break right into the actual qualifiers to Ultimate X immediately following that. So the whole thing begins here with the last four, the final chance. Basically, the wild cards try to get into the Ultimate X match qualifiers. This began here with match number one, was Rubix versus Mason Andrews versus Lars Only versus Dakota Dawson. Now, this was entertaining, of course. This is guys that fell short in impact.
Yeah.
But, again, this was one of the most anticipated matches because these guys all had skills to bring to the ring.
Yeah. Rubix was a big fan favorite coming into this match. He got the what sounded like the biggest pop from the fans. Mason Andrews, of course, local hero around here.
Scorpio Sky!
Sacramento. And the other two guys,
Lars Only and
Lars Only and Dakota Darso. Dakota Darso deserved another bite at the apple, basically because he kept getting kicked in the face by accident by Flip Casanova on his way through. But overall, this was a good match from start to finish.
Now, Mason Andrews ends up being the winner, so the victor of this last four-way. So he ends up being in a qualifying match immediately following this one versus Kid Cash. And no lag time at all.
Yeah.
As soon as he wins that belt, he's still collecting himself, and here comes Kid Cash.
Yeah, Kid Cash runs immediately down the ramp and immediately starts beating on him. It was, Kid Cash is known to take all sorts of cheap shots. Nice, aggressive wrestler. One of the best heels they have, I think.
No question.
In getting the crowd into it, keeping the crowd into not liking him. This is what he came at Mason Andrews with right out of the gate. Now,
what was the surprise here is that Mason Andrews gets the win again. He actually rolls him up here when Kid Cash apparently is not paying attention. Rolls him up, gets the 1, 2, 3. Kid Cash really can't believe it. Nonetheless, he rolls out here as the qualifying contender into Ultimate X, winning the very first qualifier in Destination X, and therefore earning a spot here in the four-way. But again, this guy had no rest in between matches, and these were pretty long matches. They weren't too short.
I think both together took something like 40 minutes. So
right. So again, whatever he wants to call himself, Andrews or Scorpio Sky or whatever you want to call yourself, great match, and again, more of that to actually take place in the Ultimate X match.
Yeah.
After that, we had match number 3. It was Douglas Williams versus Kenny King, a.k.a. Magic Mike. Now, this was a match where I expected Magic Mike to do all of the moves that got him Ring of Honor praise.
Yeah.
Of course, if you don't know the story yet, UnifiedWrestling.com broke it. Ring of Honor did away with Kenny King, said, we wash our hands of you because we gave you permission to talk to other companies. We had no intention of letting you wrestle for other companies.
Yeah. They made it known that they thought that he was just going to talk to them. And when they found out that he was actually going to be on the show, that's when apparently things went awry. I'm
going to Orlando and I'm going to talk to TNA. A couple things, nothing real serious. It's a live show, so whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, you get on stage and wrestle? Sure, let's go.
Okay.
There we go. So Magic Mike, a.k.a. Kenny King, is now in TNA, but sort of, kind of, we'll explain a little bit later.
Yeah.
Anyway, he wins this match versus Douglas Williams. Douglas Williams is like the only fat X Division wrestler I've ever seen in my life. Next to Samoa Joe. Believe it or not, Samoa Joe used to be in the X Division.
Yeah.
But since the new X Division weight limits and all that, little.
Not sure how Douglas Williams fit into that. The whole scenario is supposed to be under 225, but
could have thought of better matchups here for this guy than that.
Where's Jack Evans? Bring back Jack Evans.
Oh, don't talk about that anymore.
Okay, I won't bring that up.
Please. All right, I got not enough hair as it is. I don't need to be pulling out more, all right? All right, so anyway, this guy gets the W, and we go into match number 4. Destination X qualifier again. This is Sanjay Dutt versus Rashad Cameron. Now, this was an actual sick match. Both of these guys had potential to move on to the Fatal 4-Way, a.k.a. Ultimate X match. But, again, Sanjay Dutt just did a little bit too much, especially with that moonsault stomp. What was that?
Yeah, this finishing move, the moonsault double stomp, I do not know how the person goes against survive that, because it looks like he comes down, straight down with 2 feet. It's not like he hits and rolls off. It's like
Kerry Strug-esque.
Yeah.
He's like...
And exactly. Plants the feet flat, and gets the 10 out of 10 out of 10.
Sticks it.
Yep.
If I had a sign, it would say 10 on the landing. Great job by Sanjay Dutt. Again, he's from Ka, over there in the India side there. TNA has a little thing going on. Yeah, Ring Ka. Got Ka. Yeah, he's legit, and I expected him to do a little bit more. He might have been meant for him to do a little bit more, but we'll explain why he didn't get the chance a little bit later. After that, Sanjay, of course, gets the W. Great. Well, before I jump ahead here, Cameron did a great job here in this match as well.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of high-flying moves, doing a lot of great catches for Sanjay Dutt, and therefore selling himself very well. Unfortunately, he doesn't get a place in this 4-way.
Yeah.
But hopefully not the end of the road here for Mr.
There's
Cameron.
a lot of the guys that showed up in the whole run-up to Destination X that I hope show up at least here and there, going forward through the next year on TNA.
Why not? Pleasure to see. Pleasure to see. All right. After that, we had match number 5. Destination X here. Qualifier match. This was Zima Ion versus this guy's favorite, Flip Casanova. Now, Flip Casanova is known for something else.
Yeah. When Flip Casanova was going through his qualifier against Dakota Darso earlier this week, there was some, let's say, not so clean moves. He does a lot of aerial moves, a lot of acrobatics, and there was several botches at that time that basically bloodied up Dakota Darso and made a mess out of him.
It's wrestling.
You're gonna
get bloodied up.
People get bloodied up in wrestling. It happens, but over time, if you botch too much with too many people don't want to work.
Well, in his defense,
well, go ahead.
Well, in his defense, pretty good job today.
Exactly.
Actually, did some moves, did some catches, executed very well.
It was a lot more clean than it was on Thursday. So it could have been nerves, as you say, on Thursday. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. This match that he was in today was a great match.
Well, anyway, he got hits because we all know that Jesse Sorensen is where he hangs his hat, talking about here Zima Ion injuring the guy, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well. But Zima Ion did... some crazy moves in this match. Zima Ion does what he does.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care for anybody else's health from what it looks like, but the guy does do a lot of great catches here in the ring.
Yeah.
Now, during this match, actually before this match kicked off, we had Jesse Sorensen come out and state that, very emotional thing with his wife and his actual mother in the stands, advising that, he's meant to be a professional wrestler. This is what he was born to be. And Zima Ion just walks right up to him and says, neck all right?
How's the neck?
Cool.
Yeah, and Sorensen did make the announcement that once he gets better, he hoped that Zima Ion would win Destination X so that Jesse Sorensen could come back and take the belt away from Zima Ion and in turn turn it in and go for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Get that neck fixed first, buddy, and then we'll talk about potential championship. Then he says he's going to cash that thing in at Destination X for the Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Slow down, Turbo! Man!
Take it a step at a time, first things first, but it was good to see Jesse Sorensen back and on his feet.
Again, Zima Ion does give Flip Casanova a little bit of his own medicine after he nails him a few times here with some select knees and gets the win. So, again, Zima Ion advances here to the Ultimate X match, and we move on to match number 6. This is the BFG series match between Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle. This match was something where me and Mr. Vincent were kind of split. I was thinking Kurt Angle was going to get the W. He claims Samoa Joe would get it, and he was right. Samoa Joe actually wins this match via submission. Not really, because the referee had to stop the match from that rear naked choke.
Yeah. Kurt Angle didn't actually tap out, but the reason that he didn't tap out was because he appeared to be unable to. It's kind of hard to tap out when you're unconscious. So,
Old
Man Hebner told him to ring the bell, called the match, and once Kurt Angle woke up, he was like, "I never tapped out."
What's wrong with you? You screwed me. You screwed me.
Well, not exactly. You were unconscious.
And then my boy here, Kurt Angle, appears to be drinking right after the match because he goes off on Twitter all of a sudden.
Yeah, he did make several rather strong comments via Twitter right after the match. He did mention, and I do agree with that the match between he and Samoa Joe was a very good match.
As real as it gets, he says.
As real as it gets.
Not fake or whatever word he used. I apologize for that. I can't think it off the top of my head. Like other people. You can't see me. That's what he tweeted. Straight up. Come on, Kurt Angle, man.
Like, wow, dude, just let your work stand on its own.
And then he says, TNA better take notice here that I am great wrestler because then I'll be seeing MMA.
It's like, dude, seriously. Whoever has your phone, you need to get your phone back. I'm trying to give you,
Karen Jarrett must be like having fun with it, or the kids or something. I know the kids were there, but whatever. Anyway, he loses the match here to Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is now on top of the food chain in the BFG, passing up James Storm as the top dog, sure by 1 point.
Yeah.
But he's still the top dog. This is huge compared to where he was this time last year.
Yeah, this time last year he was 0 and no future prospects looking forward.
Sabotaging everybody else's matches.
Yeah, he stopped trying to win and started trying to make everybody else lose. So,
well, Samoa Joe is now on top. Samoa Joe lovers rejoice. He is the actual guy to beat now in the Bound for Glory tournament. After that, we had another BFG match. This was a last man standing match versus, the two guys, AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels. This is one of the best matchups I love to watch.
Yeah.
These two guys, former X Division superstars, now stand up on their own. These guys are, oh my goodness, this match was ridiculous.
Yes, it was.
Could not believe it. This match finally ends when, of course, AJ Styles ends up being the last man standing when he hits the Styles Clash on Christopher Daniels
off the ramp
from the stage area onto a table. Christopher Daniels set up himself, and that was done horizontally. It wasn't done vertically. Like,
after they made the impact, the table collapsed. They both went straight down to the floor. It was a big finish. They were already both bloodied up, and that was just the huge crescendo for the whole thing.
Whew, man, AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels do kick it up another notch. This should have been main event material.
Yeah.
These guys did have the best match of the night, and we're talking about Destination X.
Yeah.
X Division matches, qualifying matches, guys that know that this is their only chance to shine, and these guys are the ones that step it up, kick it up another notch, and sell it. This ridiculous match.
Yeah, this match was I'm going to go ahead and say I think it was the best one of the night. And that's notwithstanding the championship match, which in itself was great.
All right, now let's get into this a little bit more. All right, after that, again, win by AJ Styles, we have match number 8. This is Ultimate X match itself. Mason Andrews, Zima Ion, Kenny King, a.k.a. Magic Mike, and Sanjay Dutt. Now, this was an entertaining match, but the story here, I would say, unfortunately, was the injury suffered by Sanjay Dutt in this match.
Yeah. Sanjay Dutt, he was out of commission due to an arm injury that was made after he did a flip. He grabbed one of the ropes and looked like he hit his elbow. From early reports indicated that it might have been popped out of joint. And from what we understand at this point, it was apparently popped back into joint so that he could continue the match. And he was actually integral at in the conclusion of the match when he and Zima Ion were both going for the X Division belt. And Zima Ion sprayed the spray in his eyes. He fell all the way back down to the mat. And Zima Ion walked away with the win. And unfortunately, Sanjay Dutt appeared to have popped the elbow back out. So
yeah, it was tough times here for Sanjay Dutt. But again, he was actually
a gamer.
Absolutely. He left the match, came back after they popped that bad boy back in, and then he was part of the ending when him and Zima Ion were at the top of the actual structure that holds the whole thing together. And sprays spray into his face.
Yeah.
He falls down to the mat, and there's Zima Ion there to collect the championship and be the new X Division champion. So Zima Ion now is the X Division champion, the way that, we'll say, Jesse Sorensen predicted this thing to happen. Of course, me and yourself also did the same thing on the preview.
Yeah.
But this, again, was something that might be pushed as Jesse Sorensen gets better, starts to heal up. This is something that could be bouncing back and forth in between the both of them.
Quite possibly. All right. But, yeah, best hopes for health with Sanjay Dutt. Hopefully he gets better quick.
Absolutely. Now, he's part of, again, that India company down there that they have here, TNA.
Ringka King.
Ringka King. This guy puts stories on it all the time on UnifiedWrestling.com. If you want to be updated on what's going on with Ringka, UnifiedWrestling.com, of course. All right. After that, we had match number 9, the actual main event of the evening. Bobby Roode versus, oh my goodness, Austin Aries. Now, this match, it was 2 of Cesar Scorpio's personal favorite wrestlers. 2 of the top 5 wrestlers in the business today. On the Unified Wrestling Top 5, these guys are consistently part of that top 5, except for this past week, but top 5 every single week. Again, except this past week. But consistency is, again, what they do. Is every week, day in and day out, they bring it. Now, this was both of them, again, matching up together and giving us a match that, wow.
Yeah, both of these guys, and I don't know what they're going to do with Bobby Roode at this point, but both of these guys, I mean, this if they put a rivalry together with these 2, it could go on for a long time, because both of these guys, they like basically 2 of the best guys that TNA is working with today. Bobby Roode is one of the best heels. You know, you've heard me go on and on about Austin Aries and the way that he does his moves, so this, you know, just they have nothing but money on their hands with both of these guys.
Absolutely. Now, this match ends when we have some little cheap shenanigans. When Bobby Roode takes the championship belt and is about to bash Austin Aries upside the head with it, which he does. Beep! Banks him upside the head, but yet not enough. Austin Aries kicks out of that and then is able to put the brain buster on Roode. Now, once he gets the brain buster, it's all over. It's a wrap. 1, 2, 3. New champion. He finally wins this championship that he's been seeking out for years and years. Ring of Honor, now TNA, and the guy's the TNA champion.
Yeah, he's money. He's the World Heavyweight Champion. And, you know, this was after, 2 or 3 different times that, Bobby Roode tried to engage in some shenanigans. Distracted Brian Hebner with the belt so that he could get in a cheap nut shot. What else did he do? You know, no matter what he did... it's... What do you expect?
The guy did everything but bring a beer bottle with him.
Yeah.
But whatever, there was no sighting of Hulk Hogan in this pay-per-view. There was no James Storm sighting in this pay-per-view. This was, again, for not having these big dudes in the actual pay-per-view, this pay-per-view was one of the best here of the year for TNA. So, again, new champions, new X Division champion, new heavyweight champion, no knockout action, which was unfortunate. But, again, this is Destination X. All right? What do you expect? High flying. Good to see. Glad they didn't go that route and try to change this up. This was a great card. Great matches all the way through. If you didn't get a chance to see it, you could follow the live coverage where we actually posted here on UnifiedWrestling.com. Again, we just went over the actual results of the whole thing. But if you get a chance to see a replay anytime, go ahead and do that. What'd you say about that, E?
It was a great show. Great show. TNA, it's definitely, over the last few months, they've stepped up the quality of what they're putting out.
Definitely. All right, now remember, we're going to have the live TNA coverage on UnifiedWrestling.com this Thursday. Coverage by Cesar Scorpio and also the review show following that. E. Vincent's going to have the Raw showing, building up to the 1000th episode of Monday Night Raw, which will be airing in a couple of weeks. Anyway, that's all we have here for this coverage of X Division Gold Destination X. Myself, Cesar Scorpio, Invincible E. Vincent, thank you very much for watching. See you guys next week.
Take care.